What's going on, guys? We're over at Branton's today at the Yamaha side, and as you can tell, we're taking out something a little bit special. This is the XSR-900GP for 2024. At the minute, in the world, there's only 500 of these made. With the name XSR-900, yes, this has got the XSR engine in it, CP3 engine, with 117 brake horsepower and 93 Newton meters of torque. We have got the reliability of it being new, but the old school styling. Just look at this. Proper retro. I believe it comes in two different colours. This, red, white and yellow, or grey. Me personally, I'm going for this colour. Well, for £12,500, let's stop talking and let's start riding it. I've purposely ditched my day sack, so I've got no bag, so that won't hinder my riding position. Now this bike is not going to be used as a commuter around town, so let's go find ourselves some B roads and enjoy this bike. I'm 6'1" and it is an aggressive riding position. It's your typical sports bike. Pegs feel quite high, knees feel high, handlebars quite far forward, and I am length forward. End of the day, if you don't want an aggressive sport bike riding position, you wouldn't buy a bike like this anyway. Being 6'1", this has got a seat height of 835mm, and I've got both feet flat on the floor easily. As soon as you jump on it, you notice how light this thing feels. Only 200 kilos wet. That's impressive. When we look at the electronics on this thing, we've got LEDs all around. More importantly, we've got, I think it's like a 5-inch TFT screen, colour. And this thing has got 4 different themes that you can have on the background. And I've got it on this old school taco style. To change the theme, all you're going to do is use the left hand button and joysticks. But you can only do it while stationary. But it's an old school bike. Let's leave it in the old school taco style. I must say the taco is the revs. We've got a speed on the right hand side. Hopefully you can see that. Other tech on this, we've got quick shifter up and down. And let me tell you, it is smooth. We've got wheelie control, slide control. We've even got cruise control on this thing, which I've got time for. With there being only 500 of these in the world, I believe 300 in Europe, that means there's not going to be many in the UK. You can pretty much guarantee that wherever you pull up, people are going to be looking at this bike, because there ain't many about. What's nice to see as well is this bike also has a fuel gauge. Yes, ladies and gents, Yamaha have done it. They've put a fuel gauge on a sports bike. We've got 5 different rider modes. We've got rain, street and sport, and then the other 2 are custom 1 and custom 2. Obviously we can go in and adjust them. Come off the throttle and then you just push that mode button on the right hand side and then you just flick through. Obviously going to put it in sport, nothing else. I tell you what, this engine in this platform is fantastic. It's so punchy. In sport mode, it's punchy. It's aggressive. It just wants to go. I've got time for this, ladies and gents. We've also got an Acrocan on back there, and this thing sounds bloody delightful. Good thing with this TFT as well, it does have phone connectivity, so you can adjust your music. It's got turn by turn on it, and I believe, without connecting my phone, I think there is a maps option. So not just turn by turn, but actual maps on the TFT screen, which I've got a lot of time for. I'm not a big fan of turn by turn. Listen to that engine! Oh yay! Where is this so light? It just flicks around. Bang through the gears on the shifter. Now I reckon if you go into a custom 1 or 2, that's where you can be taking off the anti-wheelie. What can I say? It's blisteringly quick. The quick shifter is so smooth, up and down. And the brakes on this are phenomenal. And then when you want to relax, put it in cruise control. and just sit back and give your wrists a little break. One thing to note though, when it is on cruise control and you go to change gears up, so I was in 4th then, it cancels cruise control. Some bikes do allow you to change gears while still in cruise control, not this one. I really like the styling of the cockpit with the old school fairing, the fairing arms coming off from the tank area. You can see everything down here. I think Yamaha's done a really good job with this bike. I said the brakes are good on this. We have got dual 298mm discs at the front and a single 245 at the rear. You want absolutely nothing more. These brakes are superb on this bike. Going over these back roads, the suspension's doing well. The suspension is KYB adjustable, so if you want to have a little play around, tweak it and dial it in for you, you certainly can. Wind protection, obviously it's a fixed fairing. Yeah, I mean the wind is kind of exactly what you'd think. It comes on from about a chest up, but because it is even across your top half like that, there's no strange buffeting on the helmet. So actually it's not too bad. No, Mr. Pheasant, do not come out.
And here we go then, and found somewhere to pull over, because this thing is phenomenal. I'm loving it. Everywhere you look on this bike, you can just see where Yamaha have taken their time and really made this thing just a little bit special. Starting off at the front then, we've got this tiny LED headlight, obviously low beam and high beam inside there. Coming around to the side of the bike, passenger pegs are tucked away, nice and neat, and just fold back and then hold in place. Obviously got the old school style can on there. This is just a seat cover. You can actually just take it off, and I believe the passenger seat is already underneath. Coming further back, the brake light is tucked in right under there. Really nice, really sleek. I would get a smaller version just to bring this back towards the bike a little bit more and just make it that little bit more sleeker. On the left hand side we do have the adjustments for the rear suspension, and then the cockpit is all very sleek and minimalistic. The tank looks pretty big. We have got 14 litres in there, so it's not the biggest tank around, but even for a man of my size, your knees slot into this groove really nicely, so you can just grab hold of that tank when you are going a little bit faster. Well, there's enough standing around. I want to get back on and carry on enjoying this bike.
I think you can tell from my reaction, I've loved this bike. I would definitely have one of these in the garage as my Sunday fun bike. Like I said, it is an aggressive rider position, so you don't want to be doing any form of long distance touring on this. But for that Sunday ride, couple of hours, get it out, sun is shining, you know there's going to be hardly any of these on the road. Yeah, this will definitely come home with me. It's a real mixture between the engine, the sound, the handling, the braking. All of it just works fantastically together. And don't forget, if you do want to come and test ride one of these, hit up Branson's and Yeovil, and you can come and enjoy this thing just as much as I have. There's literally nothing else to cover on this bike, but you need to try it out to believe it. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. Plenty of reviews coming every week. Nothing else to say, but until the next one, ride safe.